Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Over the course of only a single night, the gang's world has been thrown upside down. Our heroes reunited, only to find themselves thrust into a conflict between an ancient army of religious fanatics and two of the deadliest dark sorcerers alive, with the most vulnerable members of the supernatural community of Las Vegas caught in the crossfire. And it has only just begun.
And we find our characters
asleep.
Unconscious.
Yeah. Hiding in a storm drain with half the group unconscious.
And last we left off, I think Voltaire had just finished his conversation with his papa.
Yep. Dear old pop-ups.
Dear old pops. All right, so is Voltaire returning to the truck and van?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cayden is still in the front seat of the truck. And I think Rian was watching.
Rian is sitting in the open bed of the truck, keeping an eye on the entrance.
Okay, got it. All right. As Voltaire starts to, come out, Cayden will get out of the truck and is like, so, how's Dad doing?
Well, he is as annoyingly vague as ever, but he did manage to answer a few questions.
Oh, yeah? What kind of questions?
Most of them were rather personal questions, but I did manage to get out of him that apparently he isn't one of the fallen.
That is new.
Right?
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, or I don't really have much experience with that anyway, but...
I'm still working on processing it myself, don't worry.
Yeah, all right. Well... As far as I can tell, nothing, of course, has changed. All the girls are still passed out in the van for now, and Rian's just watching. I'm just thinking about that last ordeal we just had with your bone master friend and his husband.
Oh, I think friend is a very generous term for what little relationship we did have.
Well... Be that as that may, I have some information regarding his husband. Not much, but a little.
Excellent.
None of it's good.
When is it ever?
It's worse than you might think. How about that?
Oh, wonderful.
From what I could guess, from what I've heard just from my experience... he's known as the Mind Breaker.
How unutterably charming.
As charming as the Bone Mage. At least it has a slight bit more style attached to it. Still, it more or less is self-explanatory. He breaks minds.
That would explain why everyone else managed to drop like flies.
There is no consistent information on what exactly he can do, because all the people who talked about him were, broken in a way. But they did all say something about his eyes, which Rian was able to confirm for me, which is why I know. So if we do have to deal with this man in the future, which is likely.
We're literally going in blind, eh?
Look, in a way, yes. And I know that feeling all too well, believe me. But we have some. If anything, you need to be able to, I don't know, keep it together up here. I mean, sounds kind of obvious / stupid, but that's where it's at.
Well, I think I've established that I'll be next to useless.
Hey, he's not a woman, so I think you have a slight better advantage in that regard.
Thank you. Thank you. That makes me feel so much better.
I thought it would.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I am very tired, and if I remember correctly, the floor of the van was rather comfortable.
By all means. And yeah, Cayden just kind of goes back towards the front of the truck to get back into the passenger seat.
Okay, so Voltaire goes into the van. He just sits on the floor, and he vaguely remembers that Andi had a rather nice Bible.
Andi does have a rather nice Bible. Why?
Because he's feeling extremely lost right now, and that was a good chunk of his life. So,
Nice.
is
Okay.
how hard is that currently to find?
Not.
It's probably like on the kitchen counter because someone moved it off the couch.
Yeah.
Okay, so he picks that up, and he's going to attempt to sleep.
He's gonna wait. Is he reading or sleeping? Is he sleeping?
He's reading in an attempt to relax to go to sleep.
I see. Gotcha. I was very confused.
He picks it up and then he goes to sleep. I'm like, is he using it as a pillow?
He's just like hugging it, like a teddy bear.
He is actually
Say
reading.
if you sleep on a book, the knowledge will go into your brain.
You know, I can say this much. It is not a magic Bible.
It's a Bible.
It's a
A
good
nice one.
Yes, it is.
Anyway.
What does it look like, Jonathan?
It's a hefty leather-bound tome
Yeah.
with a cross on the front.
Is it like embossed cross, or is it like
Sorry,
they
what's
have-
it? Embossed? I know that word, but it's...
where like the little metallic color is imprinted into the leather?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm going to ask a really dumb question.
Do it.
Okay.
The cross wouldn't happen to be gold.
Yes, the cross is gold.
Oh no.
Does it happen to look similar to the crosses we know the Inquisition carry?
It is similar
Buddy,
in the way that, like...
In the way that a cross are two lines intersecting at a point?
Yeah.
there are like two colors you can put on a Bible.
Gold and silver.
The likelihood that it is a gold, you find a gold cross on a Bible is very high.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, dumb question.
But yes, it is. The Bible does have a golden cross on it.
And as you read it, you probably see little notes Andi's written or stuff she's highlighted in the...
Mm-hmm.
This is a well-used Bible.
Well,
very
used Bible.
Nice.
I wonder how cool with it she's gonna be if she wakes up and finds you reading her personal Bible.
Well,
Notes.
if you hear Voltaire's like screaming, then you'll probably understand.
What?
He's making a joke about Andi killing him.
Now, how many times have we referenced Andi's desire to kill me?
We don't even know that she actually wants to. You're just making an assumption.
That is Voltaire's assumption.
Voltaire's projecting a lot, I feel.
Most of the time when he runs into women he's associated with throughout his life, it does not end well.
I wonder what the common denominator is. No offense.
Exactly.
God dang it. Okay. All right. He's reading a Bible to help him relax before he goes to sleep, right?
Yes.
Got it. Cayden opens the door briefly and calls out to Rian. He's like, "Hey, Rian,
Yes, Cayden?
don't stay up all night. Just come get me maybe halfway through so you can get some sleep too, all right?"
All right.
All right. And he's going to close the door. And what you assume is he's going to fall asleep.
I love
Yeah.
the cowboys.
Probably be about halfway through the night. Rian then knocks on the window, wake Cayden up, and they switch places.
How many hours do you think that'd be? Just what, like 4, 5?
I'd say let's go 5.
All right.
Do you recover like 1 strain per hour or what? How does that work?
If you don't get a full night's sleep, yes. You also, just if you get a full night's sleep, you would typically recover all strain. Though if you are enough strain above your strain threshold, that could require even longer. So recover from full strain to empty is a full night. And then if you need additional after that, I would say you would recover like 2 strain for each additional hour after that.
Okay.
How far above the thresholds are the girls?
Question?
19 out of 12.
Ooh, so that's going to be, what's that? So that's 12,
That's another 5 hours.
14, 16, 18.
Can I save you?
Oh
Here.
my gosh.
Can we possibly pull some magical shenaniganery to help out with that?
Okay, so this is if you wanted to heal all your strain. You could wake up and still have some strain.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of inevitable at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's likely that our characters are recovering from, being brain blasted by a at least somewhat insane mind mage.
Along with everything else that happened in the last 24 hours, there's been a lot.
So for 8 hours, you just minus from your strain what your threshold is, and then you can decide if your character wakes up later than that or that.
Okay, cool. Wait.
Joan's gonna be asleep for at least 8 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, at least 10, I don't know why I said at least. At least 10 hours.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Andi probably also, because what motive does she have to wake up right now?
Yeah, we're being hunted by the Inquisition. Like, I'm gonna rest as long as is possible. I would like to have character interactions, but I also want to live.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Yeah, she's probably just gonna keep sleeping.
Cool.
Man, I want character interactions so bad.
Same. But I also want to
you guys
live.
were zonked out so bad.
I got wrecked yesterday.
It's been a horrible 24 hours.
It has.
It has,
For
yeah.
everyone.
Probably after Rian wakes up, he is going to want to talk to Cayden about a few
Unless someone starts getting noisy or something, then she might wake up.
So after Rian wakes up after switching the watch with Cayden.
So 5 hours, Rian switches with Cayden, he just sleeps, it's after that. Yes.
Yeah, so that would have been 10 hours.
During his 5-hour watch, he is, paying attention, but Cayden's mainly singing to himself, and he takes some time to record a voice memo to himself.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. But everyone should be asleep, so.
Wait. So are you not gonna do this?
Sure. If you want me,
The audience hears
audience,
everything.
yes.
Audience hears everything.
Audience is not asleep.
The audience hears
The
everything.
audience never sleeps.
The audience never sleeps.
Don't try pulling that on us.
So it'd probably be sometime around hour 3 into his shift, and he kind of reaches up to his hat to take out the feather again, kind of feels it in his hand and smells it, thinks to himself, and then asks Siri to record a voice memo to himself. Well, I haven't done one of these in a long time. And frankly, it's kind of hard to figure out what to say at this moment, but it's been a heck of a day coming back to the real world. And I don't know what else I expected from being, summoned by some crazy powerful being that's like, I need you to do things for me. I mean, what else could I expect? But a lot. Just thinking about the situation it bothers me. It annoys me. Dealing with the Inquisition, dealing with necromancers, and I know that I've had my own qualms about God and his own thoughts about me. I'm still pretty much standing on the same plain I was before. I know he's there, but seeing all the things the Inquisition does, but all the things that the Hounds have done, it's just so confusing. And where does he stand? And that just makes it harder for me to find where I should stand. Look, Jamie, I know that I'm trying my best. It's just the only thing that feels consistent of what I need to do is make sure that Joan makes it out all right. I know she's gone through a lot, and we've all gone through a lot. And after all this is over, whether or not we survive, her going back there is it's just another round of torture. There's not much I can do. But I feel that's what you would have done. Just kind of nods to himself and just like sighs. Then he just stops the voicemail and is like, all right, Siri, just stop. And he just kind of sits there and leans back a little bit and just seems to be thinking again. Just kind of brings his cane up to his chin and just sits there and just continues thinking. Thinking about everything. Mainly about what the heck he's going to do in the future. That's it.
Aww.
Jamie. Who's Jamie?
Caitlin's just sitting there like, ooh, character face.
I know who's Jamie.
I also know who Jamie is, but
No, all of it.
I'm not supposed.
I know everything.
You don't get to.
I know
brag.
everything.
We're already all bitter about it. You don't need to sit. Worse.
He'll be sitting and thinking for another 2 hours after that.
Rian wakes up 5 hours after the swap.
Yeah. Gets up, comes over to Cayden. Anything happened, Cayden?
It's been fairly quiet. I heard sirens sometime in the night, kind of coming close, but nothing serious.
After mentioning sirens, Dren's like, Cayden, or if I ask for a bit of advice?
Sure.
What would you do if you were being hunted by the police?
He thinks to himself for a moment. Well, depending on what it is I'm being hunted for, either find a really good place to hide or just always be on the move.
So, how about being involved in a car chase and a gunfight in the middle of the night?
Even if I gave this advice, I don't think you're really going anywhere because we're kind of, we're all wrapped up in that. And
just thinking, I know. Maybe best if perhaps I stay behind while you guys go up top for a while.
As prudent or practical as that might be, that also would mean we have one less fighter and then you'd be by yourself. Not that I'm saying you couldn't take care of yourself. I'm just saying it's not always smart for us to just, divide like that. When we split 3-3, that's fine. But I
know, but with the Inquisition hunting us, I don't think anyone needs the police on top of that.
Look, we should just change your look, I mean, you have a very distinct look about you. If we change that, at least with the clothes, like leave the shawl behind and everything else, maybe not as cowboyish.
Everything else. Well,
maybe not as cowboyish. I think, it'd be a little bit harder if we were outside, Go a long way.
Yeah. Right. Guess that's a start. I just don't want to be the cause of too much more trouble than what we already got.
Believe me, at some point, we're all going to be the reason for the trouble. At some point. Though, something's been poking in my brain lately.
Yeah?
You said that when you started your investigation, you ran into trouble talking with the supernatural community, right?
Yeah, none of them were at all talkative. They all just stayed quiet about as soon as I approached them.
Do you have any particular reason as to why?
Probably because I'm a hunter.
I mean, sure, but they didn't even give you a chance. I mean, technically, if you were there to hunt them, you'd either, one, not be seen, or two, just do it right then and there. I don't know.
Oh, no. Probably just get cautious when someone's asking too many questions, which is understandable.
Rian, why are you here?
As in, why am I still here?
I mean, that's included, but as far as I could tell, you mainly were a roamer. And even then, I didn't know much in regards to that. So, to me, it always seemed like you were just a roamer, someone who was, always on the move. And for you to be, here in one place and sticking around trying to be a hero in a way, I mean, in all honesty, I don't know why it is that you hunt.
Well, I took an oath with the guard years ago, and to protect people from the monsters that are in this world.
What god?
Background from, we have a bit of an organization of hunters called the Spirit Guard, and we all take an oath to protect our home, our families, from all the dangers out in the wilds.
All right. It's neat. I haven't heard about things like that in a while.
Yeah, it's mostly local, but I was one of the very few that decided to leave the hometown and go out about the world.
Well, why? Wasn't part of the oath to protect your own family and your hometown?
Rian's face just goes sad when you bring up family. Well, you see, I lost my family while on a hunt years ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I still had my uncle and also my grandfather, who is actually the chief of the Spirit Guard right now. But other than that, I don't know. I just had this feeling, this want to go out in the world, do what I can to help others that aren't quite as able to protect themselves.
Yep. I kind of expected such a noble response from you.
Am I really that predictable?
Yes.
I
They didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I think just, the sad truth is the world probably needs more good people like you and less people like me.
I don't know. To me, you seem like a really good person yourself.
Maybe now. And even then, I highly doubt that.
But you're also one that I'm willing to trust.
Well, as much as I appreciate that, trust is something that, at least for me, is the hardest thing for me to give to someone else.
That's understandable.
All right.
Are you guys done with your convo?
If someone would like to interrupt us, sure. Like someone suddenly waking up or something.
Well, no, I just want to talk.
How long has it been?
I just want to say I just love just soft campfire talk. I just like it. It feels good. It's good.
I feel like
for
you guys
the
need a
soul.
pan of baked beans or something.
Actually, speaking of which, that's when Cayden just like, Rian, do you have any food in this truck? Please tell me you do.
Yeah, that's a good question.
No.
Hey,
You're awake.
Joan.
She's like just popping out of the van.
Is she like rubbing her eyes, or is she like pretty awake at this point?
She's
Okay.
Anyone got any food?
I could have a few cans of something, along with the cast iron skillet in my chest there.
Of course, you have a cast iron skillet.
I just hope that the can of something doesn't say can of something. You know, that the something turns into actually something.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would trust a can of something. Yeah, it's like the mystery meat thing. Like, if you don't know what the meat actually is, then not sure I want to eat it.
Hey, you're also talking to someone who's used to camping a lot and living off the ground. So,
did you pick the can of something off the ground?
Oh, Cayden, I got that one from the supermarket.
Oh, good. I was worried for a moment, but I can explain.
But if you want, I can go out and see if I can hunt us a snake.
No, we'll take the can of something for now.
I have drugs. Want drugs?
Drugs. That seems more
I don't have
fair.
drugs.
Yeah, I love having a nice bowl of drugs for breakfast.
Nice bowl of drugs.
Yes.
You just see Elianna with a bowl of just pills. Just
Yummy.
Pour in some milk, get a spoon.
All part of a healthy breakfast. They're like half dissolving in the milk. That's so gross. Oh my gosh.
I just like to imagine that one of those pills in the milk is lactate.
Yeah, I thought so as well. All right.
oh goodness.
On
Okay.
that point, Joan's up now.
Hey, how many
And I'd
hours
say-
has it been?
I'd say Voltaire wakes up shortly after Joan.
How many hours has it been?
10.
10.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, Jones is like, oh, man. You know, I've had some bad hangovers, but this one is especially bad because I didn't do it. I didn't get the fun part first.
Believe me, none of the reason why it happened was fun. I'll give you that.
Yeah, believe me, I was about to collapse too, but boy, felt like I was gonna have a migraine for a week when it happened.
If we meet them again, that guy's mine.
Yeah, that's unless Voltaire gets to him first.
Now, were you referring to the Bone Mancer or the other guy?
The one with the disco eyes, the one who frickin' brain blasted me into next morning.
Oh, the husband, yeah.
Got it. The Mind Breaker.
Okay.
Well, that's a fun name.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
Quick thing. Can Voltaire make a check before he comes out?
Ooh.
What kind of check?
He's dealt with the Inquisition for a really long time.
Okay.
I'd like to roll some sort of knowledge check to see if he can just have a beautiful minds moment and see if he can put a guess towards what they're going to do next.
Knowledge supernatural.
So that would be 2 yellow, 1 green. And yes, I would like to flip a story point.
Oh.
All right.
He means business.
I mean, he should. Story points are inherently meta, and I like, and I think it's very appropriate to exercise that power at this time, given what we know.
Yeah.
Or what we suspect.
Also, what time of day is it now?
It was probably like midnight when we finally went to bed.
It would have been, yeah, because the sun was setting when we first left Voltaire's apartment.
Got it. So it was probably, okay, so it's like...
Yeah, 10, 11, somewhere
around there. Okay, cool.
Daytime.
Yeah, we were all knocked out. Good enough.
I think Elianna will wake up sometime soon. I don't think it makes sense for her to be fully recovered from all of her strain.
And
Well,
Chris is gonna wake up in 2 hours.
That's why Joan's got the hangover. That's her 4th strain.
Okay. Makes sense.
So Voltaire's been thinking about what the Inquisition would do next. Voltaire, you know that the Inquisition, now that you guys have escaped them for several hours, they would be calling in anything that they can to find you. They don't let threats stick around.
Nope. Okay, so he knows that there's some reinforcements coming.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what they are.
You've heard, so you haven't encountered them yourself, but you've heard of the Bloodhounds.
Okay, what exactly have I heard about the Bloodhounds?
That when the Inquisition really, really needs to find someone, they bring in the Bloodhounds, and the Bloodhounds find them every time.
Okay.
The Bloodhounds themselves have been known to tear people apart.
everyone. This is Caitlin, aka Howie, and welcome to roughly the middle of the episode. I hope you are having a wonderful day and that you are enjoying the episode so far. If you are, please consider telling a friend to spread the enjoyment, spread the love, and give yourself someone to talk to about it. Because podcasts are always more fun with friends. I think, anyway. That's just my opinion. Speaking of friends, we'd like to thank our wonderful patrons, Aimee Clark, Richard Wyatt, and our newest wonderful patrons, Shane Ruman and Lucius Myers, for supporting us. We couldn't do what we're doing without y'all, so thank you very, very much. If you would also like to become a patron, go over to patreon.com/thegenesysarchives and sign up there. We got a lot of wacky fun stuff going on over there, and we're working on getting out our first one-shot to listen to for our $10 and up patrons. It is an alternate universe one-shot where me, Caitlin, the player, Jonathan, Baaron, Zander, and Ben, I believe that's everybody, have a supernatural unseen world adventure on our college campus. So be looking forward to seeing that pop up sometime in the next couple months. You can also find us on Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and start up a conversation with or about us there. We would love to hear from you, and that would also, help grow the podcast a little bit so that we can continue to make it better and better and get you guys more and more fun stuff and fun content to listen to and play with. We also have a very active Discord server where we chat a lot and hang out and share ideas and talk about the podcast, but also lots of other things, and start projects and create stuff together. And it's a really good time, and we love to see you there. So you can find a link to that and all of our other social media in the description. Again, thank you so much for listening. I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of this episode. And, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Don't love that.
Please no.
Wonderful.
I don't want to be torn apart.
Okay, so after he comes to that conclusion, he'll step out of the van and what can I smell?
Okay, so what Rian pulled out of the chest was 18-ounce can of pork and beans, a bag of white rice, and about an 16-ounce can of shredded beef. He's mixing it, rice, beans, and beef all together in his cast iron skillet over a fire.
Sweet.
All right.
I don't know why. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say this. I won't say
what?
Cooking check?
Make an alchemy
survival,
check.
Right?
Make an alchemy check.
That's a survival check.
You should have decent survival, right?
Well, actually, you're honestly going to need to make a survival check to find the materials for a fire. You're in a storm drain. You're going to have to leave for a bit if you want to.
And also, do you have a...
He used up the last of his firewood in the last camp out a few weeks back. All right, survival check.
Wait, wouldn't he also need water to cook the rice?
He does.
You can cook
we
it.
live in a desert. Why would he not have like a water barrel or water jug
Yeah,
or
he's
something?
got like a water jug also. He's got
He's
so
Rian.
What's your survival?
Survival is 2 yellow and green, but I do have a talent. Here it is. I have Forager. Remove up to 2 black dice from any skill check that make to find food, water, or shelter, or I guess firewood. Would that be okay?
I think that would fit.
Okay. That sounds accurate.
Nice.
All right. So it takes a bit, but you're able to find you find some desert shrubs withered by the sun that work as a good basis for a fire.
Yay.
Elianna will wake up to the smell of food. I don't think she's eaten in maybe a little over 24 hours now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh gosh.
So
That's
it's not awesome. Actually, how long we haven't been Fae time. I don't know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She hasn't eaten for a while. She wakes up. She looks down. She's covered in blood. That's not a great thing to wake up to. She's gonna take a couple deep breaths. Then she's gonna come out the door. Come outside.
Excellent. All right, so
I still feel like maybe just for the heck of it, do a cooking check. But my survival is pretty.
You've
decent.
already done your survival.
yeah, I mean it's not
you
like
know
you're
how to
making
cook
chili.
beans and rice.
Well, I mean, I'd say it's food. It's not exactly, a 3-star Michelin dinner, but
It's not like that. But yeah.
It'll fill you up.
It'll do its job as food.
Did get a decent chunk of advantages, so I'd say he did well with, probably as well as he could have with the materials he has used.
Right.
Sweet.
That's cool.
It was either that, or if nobody wanted any of it, he was going to go hunt some snakes and scorpions.
For what? Because he thinks we would like that better?
yeah, the man who is wanted by the police.
I am...
He'll just go out with guns or something. Maybe just.
It would be nice. There's no way he's going to hunt any of those with a gun.
I am...
Hunt for sewer rats.
He would avoid sewer.
Definitely those are healthy.
Scorpions, yes. Sewer rats. Well, that's fair. I'm just very charmed
Also,
by Rian all the time, always.
This is also not a sewer.
It's
a storm drain.
It's a storm drain.
There's considerably less human species involved.
Less.
To be fair, there's probably still some, but considerably less. It's not designed for the purpose of holding human feces.
Yeah.
All right. So Elianna is awake.
Yep. She comes out of the van. She looks around and is like, "Oh, everything's a little covered in blood. That's pretty cool." And she gets out of the van. She's like, she doesn't say anything. Never mind. She's like, looks like she's about to say something. Then she just comes over and is this
Joan,
for everybody?
Yeah. Yes, Elianna. So then Rian gets up, goes to the chest. He takes a half dozen metal plates and some forks.
Nice.
And he specifically said they are not silver.
None of them are
as a
silver.
joke, because silverware.
Cayden will be okay.
Will he though?
Well, I
Good
don't
to know. Good to
not
know.
you'll be okay from this. You'll be okay from this. You're probably not going to be okay, but you'll be okay from this. You're not going to die by spoon today.
The day is barely beginning.
Imagine you go to some fancy dinner and you're a werewolf and you just grab the spoon and just immediately burn yourself.
Well, I mean, it's like
Can't
going.
eat any of this food now.
It's like going to a restaurant when you have food allergies. You got to ask for different utensils. Like I would ask, what are your gluten-free options? And he would ask, do you have any silverware that is not silver? They would be like, no. Why?
Why is that?
Which is what happens to me sometimes.
And then
no.
his quip would be like, "Oh, so you judge people on their choices of silverware, but not their choices of food? Come
This
on,
is
people."
ableism.
If he's planning on going to that many fancy restaurants, he should just carry around some silverware in his...
He has 2 ranks
Or he
in
could
his
wear
wealth
gloves.
skills. He's not going to. He wears gloves. He's not going to.
But it doesn't work when he puts it in his mouth.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's true. That would be a problem.
I'm imagining now a werewolf who didn't think this through, so they got gloves and they're like, this is the way to do it. And he gets like a big spoonful of soup and then puts the spoon in his mouth and just freaking burns his tongue off.
They're like, I'm so sorry, sir. Was the soup too hot?
Just a little. But it's fine.
Anyway, back to the problem.
If the werewolf burnt his tongue off, he would be fine, and probably less than that, because he also would probably have superior healing.
A funny thing about that.
Anyway,
Maybe not.
back to breakfast.
Thank you, Rian.
Nope, my pleasure.
Has it been 12 hours yet?
Not yet.
Well, once everybody...
Some of the other people have just, the 10-hour people just barely woke up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took to cook and stuff.
True.
An hour, 45 minutes.
Do you want to
maybe.
say 11 hours?
Yeah, it'd be 11 hours.
Sweet.
Sure.
I only have one strain.
I heard some dice rolls a lot earlier, though, Jonathan.
Yeah, so did I.
I don't like that.
Voltaire's gonna sit down and he's just gonna be like, I was giving some thought to our current predicament and what our what the Inquisition would be doing next, and if they're as desperate as I think they are, they may well call in the Bloodhounds.
Like dogs? Hoping?
I'm not entirely sure. I've never encountered them myself, thank the heavens. But from what I've heard, they have yet to lose a prey.
So if they are dogs, they're not the fun kind.
Definitely not the fun kind.
Are they the lead their masters to you, then let their masters handle it sort of bloodhounds?
They're the ones that catch you, rip you apart, and take back the pieces type of bloodhound.
Great. Wow.
Pretty.
It sounds like we're going to have a fight on our hands pretty soon. Let's not do it on an empty stomach, as he hands Voltaire a plate of food with a fork.
Yeah, we need a plan, and maybe to get unblooded. Those of us who fell unconscious kind of are not looking great on that part. Like, you can see, like, Joan's hair is, like, kind of sticking to her shoulder. Like, soaked in blood.
Yeah.
Also, if anyone has any extra, like Rian, do you have any extra shoes in your truck by any chance?
Rian just gives you a very questionable look, like...
Questioning.
Questioning.
A questionable look is something very different.
A very questioning look, silently asking, why would I have an extra pair of shoes?
Why? Does he say that? Or
no, this is a quietly asked. This is like silent question.
So he gives you a weird look.
He gives me a weird look. I lost mine earlier, and I can't exactly be running from bloodhounds in bare feet. I also don't think any of Andi's shoes would fit me, even if she offered them.
But Rian's shoes fit?
I mean, we're not the same height, but I think they might fit better than...
That's fair. All right.
I mean, I would rather have shoes that are too big than, like half a shoe.
Right.
I believe it's still very possible to get back to my place.
The place with the heaviest concentration of you-scented stuff. How do the bloodhounds track people, exactly? Do you know?
I truly haven't the foggiest idea. But I'd rather face down a pack of bloodhounds at my place, being fully armed and familiar with the layout, than somewhere else, half-armed, half-dead, and etc.
Right.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice and all, but there are other tenants in your building, right? I mean, my question is, how cool are we with collateral damage? Look, we'll go back to your place. That's fine.
Well, we could stop by Voltaire's place and then go somewhere a little more heavily fortified, maybe.
Do you have something in mind?
Sort of.
Please tell me it isn't going to see your godmother again.
No.
It's a miracle we all got out alive the last time.
I don't plan on going to Avalon again anytime soon.
Voltaire just nods and lets the matter rest.
I don't remember his name, but remember when old Wizard McGee got wrecked by the Bavanchi?
Yes.
Back when we dated each other.
Vividly.
The person that we took him to, his house was like basically a magical fortress.
Oh yeah, Morona Johnson. Yeah, that thing was. That's the closest thing to a fortress against supernatural entities that I've ever seen here.
Would he be all right with us camping out?
I have no idea.
Probably not. It's worth a shot, though, I guess.
Right. Well, there's also the issue of walking around with the police coming after me, too.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yes, we forgot to add a little cherry on top of our current situation. Rian managed to lose his wallet at our last encounter with the Inquisition.
Oh, that's
Yeah, Rian
That's
winces.
Unfortunate.
Rian just winces.
the one where police were there Okay.
Yes, so currently he is the most wanted man in Las Vegas.
Okay, so let's take stock of the situation. Rian is most likely a suspect in several murders because he did commit the murders, technically speaking.
In front of witnesses, and the police presumably have a witness in custody at this point.
Half of us are covered in blood, and our only modes of transportation either were seen at the scene or belong to the wanted man.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah, that about sums it up.
we can figure out another mode of transportation, but we could do the gnome thing again, or we could acquire vehicles, but that might take a little time, so we should get on that sooner rather than later.
I can have a car here in the next 15 minutes.
An inconspicuous one?
Yes, but I had it coming here before Joan summoned up her little digger friend.
Right, I forgot.
Right, forgot about that. We just needed something faster. Right. Okay, so that solves the transportation issue.
To be fair, though, if the Bloodhounds are focused mainly on Voltaire and like he's the one that they might be tracking, we don't know how they track. But
Do we know that he's the one they're tracking?
I have what you would call a bit of a reputation among the Inquisition.
I don't know how else they would be tracking us.
But you're also not the one who caused all the issues last night.
And you're also not the one who killed a few of their members.
But they did choose. No.
My dear man.
I'm just saying they might not even know that you are the one, that you are involved in this particular situation.
You have
That's
a
true.
valid point.
You got launched out of car and then
Did nothing.
sucked
yes.
into Andy's van.
Again, I don't know if they were tracking your van or if they or Andy's van, not your van, Andy's van, or if they were tracking the limousine, because we were accosted as we were in transit, and they could have, who knows, even been following us from the crime scene. We don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know.
Should we wake up Andy? This is sort of an important conversation.
Okay, I'm just going to wake Andy up. So Joan goes back into the van and kind of shakes Andy awake.
He's in a hammock. Okay.
She after that rocket, she just goes like that to the hammock.
I know, it's just
Okay.
funny.
It would be funny, though.
She just turns over. Hello?
Andy, we're at team meeting.
She just looks really confused.
I think after that, Voltaire would stick his head in and just Andy, it wasn't all a dream. I'm sorry. And then he backs out really quickly.
Yeah, Joan gives him a look
Yeah, Andy's face is kind of glowering. She's just like,
Joan's looks are so much more effective now. I need to give her another rank in coercion later. Cat eyes. She gives Voltaire a freaking cat stare. Yeah, so Joan gives Voltaire the glare, and then turns back to Andy's. Come on.
Andy just kind of rolls out and she's like, all right, just give me a minute, okay?
Okay, yeah.
She walks over to the counter and she's just got some Wonder Bread or some white bread on the counter. She just takes out a slice and the spreadable butter, and she just slaps butter on it and makes it into a sandwich and then walks out the door.
She's eating a butter sandwich?
Yeah.
And then she eats the pan of food that Rian made for everyone.
You put beans on a white bread butter sandwich.
And I don't know Andy's taste, but she might prefer the bread and butter over.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would not be able to eat these beans right out the gate. Elianna doesn't care though. She's
Yeah. Andy just kind of walks out and she just sits down around where everyone is.
So
Is everyone standing or sitting?
Cayden standing.
Joan's gonna sit down next to Andy.
Okay.
Rian is sitting across from the girls right now.
Elianna will sit down.
Joan turns to Andy again. So quick rundown. We're trying to figure out what our next step is. And there's a high likelihood that we're being tracked by some kind of murderous hounds.
She just kind of looks at you blankly. She's like, Okay. That's fine. That's.
I'm guessing you're not
Yeah,
much
she
of a
just keeps
morning
eating her
person.
sandwich.
I'm guessing you're not much of a morning person.
Huh?
I'll take that as a yes.
Annie's like pulls out her phone. She looks at what time it is. What time is it?
This would be, so it was like
11 a.m.
11, and then it's an hour. So it's like it's like noon 30 right now.
Jeez.
Noon 30. And he's just like, yeah.
So, to catch Andi up, we're probably being tracked by something semi-unknown that will tear us apart when it finds us. So we're deciding what to do.
Andi just nods, eating her sandwich.
Cool. Well,
The overall consensus is go back to my place, rearm, take a shower, and then go find Moroni Johnson. That was his name?
Yeah, his name's Moroni Johnson. I might give him a call on our way to your place just to let him know that we're coming. You know, it's only polite and might at least make it slightly easier to get in.
And doing all this while making sure the police don't find us. Specifically me.
specifically you. We're just gonna keep your head low, which will be interesting as you're, like, what, 6'4"?
Why?
6'3".
So, Rian left his wallet at the scene of the
it fell out of my pocket.
car crash.
My dear man, it doesn't make a difference.
It's the police have it, very likely. Very likely? Do we know?
Yeah, they have it. They have it.
Excellent.
As far as the police were willing to tell the public, they have a prime suspect involved. And Rian discovered last night that his wallet is missing. They did mention something about, I think, the driver, and he's fine. He's in custody, so he's alive.
That's good.
Anyway, yeah, Rian's probably, public enemy number one at this very moment. So, yeah, avoiding the police is preferable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have the driver, you said.
Yes. I mean, they must have. If the driver is alive, they have him.
I mean, they said something about a witness.
Yeah, Voltaire's driver.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that just made Voltaire's place a little more documented.
Right.
I'd like to think that the drivers that the order allowed me wouldn't be as liberal with my information as, say, my wallet containing all of my pertinent identification.
Even if they...
But you're off the job.
I have been rather valuable to them over the years. I doubt the one time they take me off the job would be enough for them to burn me.
Yeah. I was pretty out of it, but I am fairly sure that your driver had a head injury. If he has some kind of concussion or something, might be a little bit more malleable to questioning.
Then should
It's
the
a
plan
risk.
be...
Is all I'm saying. What do we need at your apartment? Like, it's a place to change, I guess, but what else do you need from your apartment?
Weapons, munitions. This being the wonderful country that it is, I have amassed enough munitions to arm a third world country.
Wow. Well, I can't say I have access to anything like that, but I know where we might be able to get some guns and things if we really need more supplies of that nature. That
If
has
like
no
you all-
connection to order things or Rian things or Inquisition things or any things.
What sort of place?
What do you mean, what sort of place?
Like, you mean just like are we going to get like some guns at Walmart or?
No. No, we would just ask for them and probably owe a favor unless Voltaire wants to provide some money.
Wait, Elianna,
Yes.
does that have anything to do with those two gentlemen that accompanied us at our, through our last, excursion through Vegas. I can't remember the names right now, but they were.
Oh, like the one that flirted with me and the. Those two.
It might, yes.
Well, if you all do not want to go back to my apartment, that is the next best answer, and I suggest we move quickly.
I agree. I don't know how long we've been out, but judging by the sky, too long would be the answer.
Agreed.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
I'll call the car.
So we all have a little bit of Rian's beans and rice. We eat, and then when the car shows up, we all hop in, and we make our way to where, Caitlin?
Oh, we're going to go to my house.
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't want to stay there very long because we're being
In
tracked.
which sense?
We're going to my dad's house.
It's perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna go home and lie down.
Just loses like 3 layers of flesh on his tongue.
Oh my
The funny
god.
thing is, tongues heal extremely fast. One time, I ran into a pole while running, and I almost bit my tongue off.
How did
And
gosh.
like it was more than halfway through, and it healed in like 2 weeks
Right.
Why did you run into the pole?
because I didn't like running, and so I was spacing out really hard.
That's fair. That's
That
fair.
is fair.
And I ran
There it is.
into
That's impressive.
You know what happened
That's
that
what that is.
that summer? All of the poles in the whole school were painted bright yellow because they used to be gray.
Making a difference in the world.
Making a difference.
One tongue loss at a time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
One biting halfway through your own tongue.
I was wearing so the funny thing is also your mouth bleeds a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
And
Yes,
so
it does.
and I was wearing a white shirt that day.
Oh no.
And so like I run into this pole, I just smack into it. And I'm like so dazed. I turn around, the PE teacher's like running over and he looks so freaked out and he like calls the nurse's office and I just don't know what's going on. Because I didn't look down or anything. I can't feel anything. And then I looked in a mirror and I was like, what happened? I was like,
Yeah, you're just like,
Alright.
At first I was
Hanging
shocked.
off.
At first I was shocked that I had never heard this story. And then you got to the teacher being freaked out. And I remembered that I had heard this story. I just had chosen to suppress that. To repress that.
Amazing.
Because it's
Truly
horrible.
okay.
Elianna,
Heals-
thanks,
no,
Rian, for
heals
the
in
dishware.
2 weeks. Heals in 2 weeks.
Okay, but still not a good time.
Anyway, back to the problem.
If the
at
werewolf
hand.
burnt his tongue off, he would be fine and probably less than that because he also would probably have superior healing.
A funny thing about that,
Anyway,
Maybe not.
back to breakfast.
Thank you, Rian.